Marvel's never had the opening movie with the character require information from another movie.
What about T'Challa?
Black Panther didn't require.
I guess it
anything
doesn't count because he was in Civil War, wasn't he?
He was in Civil War before Black Panther came out, but still.
He was.
Does that count as his intro movie? Because it's like not about him.
I mean, he's a significant part of that movie.
I mean, fuck. I mean, Black Panther isn't wholly about him either.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I know.
The only one I would really, I mean, even Spider-Man, Civil War is basically his origin movie.
Not origin, but like intro movie. Yeah, I mean, there is a distinction between intro and origin movie here. I guess is what we're trying to get.
If we're talking Iron Man 1, Captain America 1, Thor 1, Ant-Man 1, Guardians of the Galaxy 1, Doctor Strange 1. There's no
Doctor Strange 1. Isn't he dead? I know that much about Infinity War. Isn't he in the stone?
Yeah.
Yeah, but if anyone thinks that they're not going to be making more Black Panther movies, then
there's
I don't know. I thought it was an interesting concept of like kind of just siphoning through a bunch of your really highly paid actors to like get a new crop going.
It's really cool. Kind of the timeline that we're in right now is the fact that we will be the only people who've experienced this time period in which we actually don't know what's happening. It's basically Empire Strikes Back.
Wait, what?
Well, in Empire Strikes Back...
I'm confused by your statement.
Like, in Empire Strikes Back, when it first came out, the people who saw that movie...
had no idea what was going to happen next.
What was actually going to happen. Like, where the good guys actually win. Probably. There's probably going to be a 6th Star Wars movie. I actually don't remember if there was actually...
Whereas we grew up into a world where it's already out. Everyone already knows.
We know exactly what happened in there. Like, we know they won.
We don't know where it's going to go from here.
But we are the only people... From until Avengers 4 is out, we'll be the only ones who have this like experience of we literally have to wait a whole year to actually find out what's happening. No other person will have to wait that time period. They'll immediately be able to watch the next movie.
Right.
Oh, that's what you're saying.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that part.
That's like every movie ever. What? How is this special for us? That's like any franchise ever.
What do you, no, because like with something like Spider-Man 1, you don't need. No one's like, oh, what's gonna happen in Spider-Man 2? It's like there's nothing. This is basically like an Empire Strikes Back situation where it left off with like crazy events happening. The good guys lost. What's gonna happen in the next one? And we have to wait.
Yeah.
Because like Harry Potter, you can look it up if you want.
Too much. I think you're putting too much credence into the fact that it's happening to you. I feel like this has happened numerous times across numerous genres and mediums.
I get what you're saying, Joe. I understand it.
Well, I mean, I understand it too. I just disagree.
No.
Can you name another example of one?
Yeah, like the Odyssey. Motherfuckers waited like a long ass time to uncover that other scroll. No one knew what was gonna happen. I don't even know what the book is called after the Odyssey. Hang on, It's not the Iliad. It's what is
50 Shades of Grey.
Oh, Leonidas. What is book after Odyssey?
Man, Trevor, having you in a podcast and you actually looking things up on Wikipedia is a breath of fresh air.
24 book. Oh, fuck this! I'm not going down that rabbit hole. No, I do not. Again, I do not believe that we're anything special. I mean, for this franchise and for this like movie adaptation, sure, whatever.
You don't think that?
But I'm not gonna like nut myself.
I know, but you don't think that the cinematic impact of the Marvel Cinematic Universe is something to be kind of looked at as a little bit special, and that this being kind of like it's
definitely a wild trend.
Yeah,
like who would have ever assumed that the pinnacle of movie making, like both money and to some extent like cinematography, would be focused around fucking superhero movies. Did you see Batman Forever and his bat nipples?
I love that movie.
Could you imagine?
Holy ground, Batman. They're staying on graded plates.
Oh,
But you know, this movie franchise.
What killed the dinosaurs?
Yeah, sorry.
Me.
That was a different movie though. Oh wait, no, wait. Are you talking about Batman Forever or Batman and Robin?
Oh yeah, those were
Batman
two.
and Robin
They all
was
just
good.
blur together. I think I watched them all in one night under the effects of some type of inebriant.
Forever was the one where Robin comes in, and then Batman and Robin is the one where Mr. Freeze.
Oh, he definitely came in. If you know what I'm talking about.
What does it say? You don't think that like the Marvel Cinematic Universe is kind of
I'm
like
gonna play some Hearthstone in the background.
an era? Yeah, sure. An era of
I'm playing Kingdom Hearts.
an era of like movie history that will probably be remembered for a long time. Like one where
Oh, I mean,
every single
sure,
movie
this is-
was successful to some extent, and some of them
oh,
are.
I would not make that claim at all.
Every single movie was successful to some extent. What movie? What
to
movie
some-
didn't?
well, to some extent, are really like gray, like catch-all.
No, I mean like financially successful. Like they broke. They
They broke the
Made money.
box offices.
Has every single one been a banger?
every single one. Well,
Sure.
aside from maybe like the like
I don't think Hulk 2 did very well.
well Hulk the Hulk movie in the cinematic universe is the only one. Is the only Hulk movie. The original like.
Yeah, that's true. They don't give him any movies, do they?
Well, that's because it's owned by Universal, so they can't make a Hulk movie without either having to pay a lot of money or
Hey, they got Spidey eventually.
that's with
It
Sony.
can
It's a
happen.
different company,
I mean, same scenario.
and they literally got around it by making the Thor movie because the Thor movie literally has one of the big Hulk storylines in it. They just didn't call it a Hulk movie.
Oh, I don't know about this. What was the storyline?
It's called Planet Hulk. It's basically
Oh, sorry. I thought we were talking about Thor #1. I'm like, that giant metal thing he fights in like that bumfuck nowhere town.
no the Planet Hulk storyline is
Yeah,
basically was
yeah.
basically squeezed into Thor Ragnarok, and it made it a great movie.
It was pretty cool. Yeah, no, it was like a very cool.
So yeah, some of the early stuff in the MCU is very, you know, it doesn't hold up
Hey,
as well.
Joe.
Hmm?
That's fair. Question though. You make the claim that we don't know what's gonna happen, but Marvel's been printing comics for a long ass time. Are they not following one of these story trends that they've already put out in
Not-
comics?
There's
Not strictly to the page. There's been their own variations of it.
Oh, I mean,
Thanos.
I think
Thanos
there's-
in the MCU is a very different Thanos than in the comic books, and that
Dude, there's
yeah.
a bunch of different every character. Like they reboot, they reimagine, they do print just like one-off series of characters. There's like thousands upon I shouldn't say thousands. There's hundreds of interpretations of this shit.
apparently there's a
Oh,
there's
yeah.
a
Like,
there's a
you're
one-off of
telling me there
Spider-Man.
isn't a single?
There's
Yeah.
apparently a one-off of Spider-Man in which he has sex with Mary Jane and his sperm is radioactive and it kills her.
That's hot.
Yeah.
So are you telling me there isn't a single storyline where Thanos gets all the fuck they're called and kills a bunch of people?
Yeah,
Like that happens, doesn't it?
it happens,
Happens
but
a bunch of times.
but whether or not they will follow through with the comic book storyline or they'll do their own thing that they feel works best is up to them. Because the best thing about the MCU right now is it's no one but the best possible people to make these movies is in control of these movies. Like Disney doesn't touch it. Disney says,
Damn.
"You guys are doing
Joe's
great.
like,
Keep giving us money. You're fine. Do what you want."
keep giving us money. Isn't it weird that Disney owns like 40% of all just characters?
It's a little crazy.
Not in any one thing, just everywhere.
Just everywhere. It's crazy. It's a little crazy.
That's what you call monopoly, my
But anyway,
friends.
I'm gonna stand by my claim that cinematic universe is and this period between Infinity War Part 2 is kind of a special year.
Yeah.
Pretty great. It's been I guess I mentioned did I mention this? I mentioned this on the podcast actually, even though this is kind of a podcast.
Wait, are we doing it right now?
I've been recording.
Oh, son of a bitch!
Welcome
I'm outta here.
to Taco Bone.
Hey,
I'll be a part of
talk
this.
about it.
I mentioned that this has been a great year for Joe. I won't mention everything that's been great about my life so far, but I can point to one thing consistently that has been great in Joe's life.
Finally figured out how to masturbate, huh?
It was a long time coming. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Oh, hey, that was a pretty good joke, actually, Joe. I missed it. Sorry.
Fucking crossover games, or just crossover anything.
What'd you say?
Crossovers.
What?
This year
Crossovers?
has been a great year for Joe's favorite crossovers. Avengers, great crossover. Smash Bros, great crossover. Kingdom Hearts, great crossover. My favorite things are crossovers for some reason, and they're fucking amazing. It all harkens back to the Jimmy Timmy Power Hour. What an event that was.
Oh God. Parts 1, 2, and 3.
And especially 3. Jimmy and Timmy become friends? Hell yeah. God.
Oh, with the super villain? Jeez.
I
I
barely.
don't know if I ever saw this.
I remember watching the first one a lot and liked that one. I remember watching the second one a little bit, and I very vaguely remember the third one. I know I watched them all, but I know I watched the first one more. Anyway, so yeah, it's kind of cool, and it's been a great year for Joe. Lots of fun things.
That's good.
Good for you, bud.
Yep. Except the cockroaches. Fuck the cockroaches.
Oh, cockroach.
Anyway, so why we're here, and why we're doing this podcast right now, is we are going to talk about
Ew.
we're going to we're going to talk about a recent smash, and in quotes I say leak, that just happened.
I don't want to hear about your fucking leak.
Man, the
We don't want to hear about your leaking bone.
the bathtub, man, leaks. And we're gonna go down this list of of things that were leaked and just kind of actually consider them. Like a lot of people like to just focus entirely on whether or not the leak is actually credible. We're gonna skip all that part. Not saying it's true or not saying it's wrong. Could be. We don't know. Who knows? We're gonna actually take this into consideration and imagine a world in which this leak is actually correct. And that is the recent Smashboards strategy guide leak, in which a guy claims, let me read his thing. The Prima guide is almost finished and set to be printed in the first week of October. If all goes according to plan, I should be able to get my hands on a copy and take pictures. However, I do have a full list of every character, assist trophy, stage, and Pokemon in the game. I even have every song. I'll post those if someone asks, but I'm not going to include it in this post, as it'll make an already long post much, much longer. This was made 5 days ago, and it was immediately locked by the moderators, and so he was not able to continue and edit the post postwards. And one thing that I pointed out is that he's missing an actual character that was confirmed in the game, so people think, oh, this is obviously fake. I think it could have just been a typo, to be honest. It's pretty
When did this get posted?
5 days ago on the Smashboards. Let me see.
And you already got somebody wrong? I don't understand. What did he get wrong?
So he posted a list of all the characters that were in the game, unconfirmed characters and confirmed characters, and he's missing Inkling, who is a confirmed character. And to me, that's just he just forgot.
Wait, wasn't that person already announced a while ago?
Yes, he was already confirmed in the game, like I just said twice.
Why is it such a big deal?
What do you mean? What part?
Like this should be a aha, they're lying. Like if the next person they reveal isn't on his list, but I don't know. I feels like it's almost not important. Well, first of all, I don't give a shit about this. Second of all,
Wait, I'm confused as to what you're saying.
hang on, I'm eating sunflower seeds.
Oh my God.
Like
That sound came through so clearly.
For your information, listeners, it's cracked pepper flavor. Very good. Very delicious.
Trevor, did you see my...
What was I saying? I don't care what I was saying. I was saying something stupid and wrong. Whatever.
I'll re-explain it just real quick. Did you see these Crash Bandicoot that Crash Bandicoot box I bought? I sent a Snapchat on it.
I must have missed it.
It was this. It was like in that like that section in Best Buy where they have all like the gaming merchandise. You can find like a Fallout like pint glass and stuff like that. This was a box shaped like a Crash Bandicoot crate, and inside that box was a Crash Bandicoot mug, a bottle opener shaped like Crash Bandicoot, 3 coasters, one shaped like a Nitro crate, a TNT crate, and a regular crate, and some stickers. And I bought it.
What the fuck did you just say? Stickers? I fucking love stickers!
Whoa, what a treat. The whole squad's on here. Oh, hello.
I didn't even know this was part of the podcast.
So, a guy who claims he got a copy of the official strategy guide early posted a typed out list of all the characters that were in that he supposedly said was in that list. Now, in that list, he forgot to put Inkling, a character that is already confirmed into the game.
Son of a bitch.
So people on the internets are saying that proves that the list is fake. I don't think that proves it's fake. I think that's just the dude fucking forgot the character. He just didn't write it. He had to write like 80 characters here.
Truth.
So it's not unheard of that he just forgot to post things, because it's not like he copied the list from something. He probably wrote it there for the first time if he really.
I don't know. I mean, he could have like just done a whole gram of wax and just typed away.
I'm just saying that I don't think that disproves or proves anything. But the whole point is to comment on the list of characters as if it was actually reality, because I think that'd be fun. And we'll only talk about the characters that have not been confirmed yet. So the first one on the list is called Black Shadow. Oh no, Black Knight.
What'd you call me?
Black Knight.
Black Knight.
Who is the
that?
main antagonist, I believe, from Ike's game in Fire Emblem, and he's listed as an Echo for what I would assume to be Ike, which seems possible.
Plausible.
There's some probableness to it. And then Black Shadow, who is listed as an Echo fighter for what I would assume to be Captain Falcon, because he's a bad guy racer in F-Zero.
Bad guy racer.
Yeah.
The man is racing morally incorrect.
Hi guys.
We've got Dixie Kong listed as an actual fighter.
Wait, is Dylan here?
I'm here.
Oh, hey, dude. All right, continue, Joe.
We got Dixie Kong as an actual fighter, not as like an Echo fighter, which is interesting. Although we have Isabelle, who is kind of a semi-clone. So
Oh, Dixie Kong is the... Wait.
she's the girl monkey.
Which one is that? Is that the tall, like...
Don't you-
or is that
don't
the one with the cap, like in the pigtails?
Yeah, the one from Tropical Freeze.
Okay, yeah.
We pretty much used exclusively in that game.
Exclusively.
When Trevor plays a game but forgets all the characters.
Hashtag relatable.
What else we got? We've got Gino from Super Mario RPG.
Woo!
No,
Shout out to Gino.
everyone's clamoring. Everyone's clamoring for a character that appeared.
Yo, I'm all about clams.
For a character that appeared in a Mario spin-off game 20 years ago. But you know, Gino's there.
What about Shadow?
Who?
Shadow.
The hedgehog or this other person they're talking about?
Dylan, you're doing it again.
Hang on. That's a good
He's in the
question.
list.
He's in the list. He's at the bottom of the list.
a
We're
look at
only
the
on
list.
D right now.
But is he on the list?
He's on the list. We're not talking about Shadow yet. Incineroar.
No.
You put Incineroar in the list? I
Yep.
could see that being a good Pokemon addition.
Incineroar is one of those. Was actually been.
Incineroar.
Incineroar is the fire tiger from the newest Pokemon.
I feel like an old man.
Would he be like a rotation player for like a Pokemon trainer, or would he be like its own individual character?
Its own individual character.
Just like every other.
Now,
individual
let me just mention about
Wait.
Incineroar before we get into talking about him. another leak that has a lot more like proven credibility. Specifically mentions Incineroar as a character that will be in the game, and because Sun and Moon was a pretty recent game, it's in the relevant time period. Odds are there's probably a new Pokemon character in this game. Incineroar seems like a likely option. It's a fucking wrestler. That's awesome.
I wouldn't mind it.
Yeah, no, I mean it's pretty close. In the card game, Sun and Moon is still the relevant set.
Yep.
What if it just kind of came to mind? What if they made like a little option if you pick Pokemon Trainer, and then it gives you like a sub menu where you can choose like a 3-character or 3 Pokemon lineup from like a list of Pokemon.
Oh, that's really cool.
You know what?
So you can customize.
But that'd probably be
setup.
really hard to balance.
Yeah, it's difficult because all of the different starters all have like you have Charizard, and then every other fire type is completely different than Charizard. There's no one that's like Charizard, so it would be difficult to balance that. But
That's a pretty cool idea. Do you work for Nintendo?
There
Not yet.
there used to be a lot of people saying that kind of a very similar thing to that, of having the female Pokemon trainer be the exact same thing but with a different set of Pokemon. So we have 2 Pokemon trainers with different sets of starters. Another idea that people had, and I think
Hashtag me too.
it was a little while ago, but having either back when Smash 4 was coming out, because it was older at the time. People wanted the villain N from Pokemon Black and White to be a character, and his Pokemon being like sort of like an evil Pokemon trainer basically. And now people are like, oh,
Was
what if
N
he was...
a bad guy?
He was. I mean, that's
or like,
why.
was he just like? Well, but you know what I'm talking about, right? Well, was he like outright evil, or was he just like?
He was an antagonist.
Okay.
He was really good. He's like the best antagonist in the entire series. But now people are like, oh, what if Giovanni was like a character? Like you play against Giovanni's Pokemon, like you had like I don't know, Nidoking.
I don't even remember what Giovanni's Pokemon were. Oh no, he had a Persian.
Oh, that'd be really cool. That would be awesome.
Wait,
Dang.
what if they just went super retro and just had Gary?
That'd be funny.
You mean
He's
Blue?
like smell you later for his taunt.
Very funny.
That would be pretty funny.
People were saying
Okay,
that
what's next on the list?
would it be cool if it was Jesse and James and they had Meowth, Weezing, and Arbok?
Oh, that would be
Those dudes always lose though.
It's still pretty fun.
If Meowth had a gun, then I'd play. Just a straight up gun.
That'd be pretty awesome. Ken from Street Fighter, which is another one of the very similar to Incineroar, was kind of in that
That's
leak.
not the dude with the headband. That's the dude with the red like
That's
ripped shirt,
reused.
right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
The original
Yeah.
clone fighter makes a lot of sense to be in Smash Bros. Since Ryu is in the game.
Yeah, and they have like clone fighters in Smash, don't they? Isn't like the Lucina person just someone else?
Yeah, so a new
Well-
concept in Smash Bros. Ultimate is that they classify a lot of characters as echo characters, and these are characters that are extremely similar to their original. So something like Isabelle, the dog, is a clone of Villager in some ways, like a semi-clone. Something like, let's say, Dark Pit is almost exactly like regular Pit.
But he likes Coldplay and Tumblr blogs.
I remember that video.
You guys want to start a petition to put KK Slider in?
Who?
Our
He's like
favorite
the little
singing
dog that plays. He's the dog that plays the banjo.
It'd be kind of cool.
Oh,
but I honestly think
I've never played Animal Crossing. I feel like I've missed out.
I don't think you would like Animal Crossing.
You don't know my life.
Maybe I have no idea. At this point, I can't.
I don't even know you anymore.
KK Slider would be cool, but I actually think Tom Nook is in this game.
That's the raccoon, right?
Yeah, because he was at the end of the Isabelle trailer in almost a very similar way that Dark Pit was in Palutena's trailer all those years ago. And to me, everyone's like, "Oh, Tom Nook's not going to be in this game. Oh, that's so sad." But to me, I'm like, "What if he is in this game?" And that's and
Were
that was
people really upset that Tom Nook? I feel like that's such like a fucking
well, in
like
terms of like
that's
Tom,
like 3 steps removed of plausibility.
in terms of like Tom Nook versus Isabel that just got announced, because Tom Nook is kind of like one of the main like the main character of Animal Crossing, whereas Isabel has only been in basically one Animal Crossing game. If that makes sense.
Yeah, but Tom Nook's he's not even like an antagonist. He's just there. He's like a mechanic, literally a mechanic, like embodied.
And in a game with literally no confrontation or combat, Tom Nook is pretty much the antagonist because he's the one forcing you to work.
Yeah,
for
but that's
money.
just like by default. He doesn't do anything wrong. He's just
Well,
a dude.
same thing with KK Slider. He just plays some sick riffs on his banjo.
He's in no way.
Yeah, but you're not like insanely in debt to him when
You're
you
not in
start
debt
the
to
game,
KK
right?
Slider.
KK Slider just fucking breaks your kneecaps with his banjo.
He's been serenading Nintendo fans for generations.
I agree. KK Slider. I would be like, fuck yeah, KK Slider. It's too bad.
Who's the next dude? Who's the next fighter?
All right, let's move on to Mock Rider.
I don't.
Mock
I
Rider.
can't speak for this person.
Mock Rider is an old NES game, so he's kind of like that, like Duck Hunt Dog, Rob the Robot, Mr. Game & Watch kind of character. Like, oh, he's retro.
Does anyone have anything to say about this dude?
I think it could be true. I mean, I think I remember some sort of old talk about Mock Rider being a potential character back in the day, but it was never realized. So him being in the game might be a thing. I don't know. His game is.
I'm gonna say no.
Oh.
I'm calling it right now. Mock Rider will not be in.
You've heard it from Trevor first. Mock Rider's game. You know Excite Bike, right, Trevor?
I do know Excite Bike. Yes.
Think about that game, but racing forward instead of side to side.
Well, that's a crazy ass concept, Joe. That doesn't make sense at all.
You know the game where you're on like a car or a bike and you're driving down a road that you're driving straight towards the screen and you have to avoid the things by going to different lanes?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's Mock Rider.
It's just a car though. Like,
Okay,
do you ever see the person?
I mean, Captain Falcon is not you don't ever play as Captain Falcon, like
Really?
in person.
I've never played an F-Zero game before.
It's just a racing game.
Oh, for real? Captain Falcon like never shows up?
I mean, you see him like on the character select screen.
So,
but there's never been a time in which
does he ever kick anyone in the racing game?
Nope.
Like, does he ever do
as a Smash Bros. Original move?
What the fuck? Nintendo's just making shit up as they go, and I appreciate that.
Hey,
KK Slider better be in the game. At this point, if they're gonna put whatever this game is that you're telling us about, they better put KK Slider in.
A classic historical NES game over a very minor part of Animal Crossing.
Yeah, but it's Animal Crossing, dude. That's like a huge. I bet more people played that than fucking. What was this dude from?
Mock Rider?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Nah.
it's not necessarily about.
Nah, bro.
It's not necessarily about popularity. It's about representing video games and Nintendo as a whole. And does a third
Trevor,
Animal
it's about
Crossing
lore.
character do that, or does
The lore.
does a third Animal Crossing character do that, or does a historical NES character do that?
I wouldn't even call it historical, bro. Like, I never even heard of this dude.
How many NES games have you heard of?
Let's see here. Is that Dig Dug? Is he part of this NES thing?
No. Well, is he an
Imagine-
NES game?
Imagine Dig Dug is the character.
Yeah.
Could be. I don't know. There's always a retro character.
I mean, not always. It's the last like what? 2 games?
Every game has had a retro character.
What about the first Smash?
They're all retro characters. And if you want to be technical about it, Samus or Ness can kind of be the retro character.
I mean, but same with Mario and Donkey Kong, technically.
No, because
I'm sure
both of them
Mario had a
N64
release
games.
close to Smash, right?
Yeah, Donkey Kong 64, Mario 64, Zelda 64, Pokemon Snap, Kirby 64.
Wait, and
Fox
who's
is
the
fair.
retro
But I
person?
mean, Mario's been around forever. I mean,
And that's also fair.
No, but I'm
Mario-
saying no, but I'm saying like a character that hasn't had an entry or any sort of game that's whole history is revolved around being a retro character.
You're qualifying this a lot.
I have precedent.
I
I have evidence.
maybe they're gonna add a Fortnite character.
don't, Are there any like actual characters in Fortnite besides Tomato?
What's his name? Jonesy.
The fuck is Jones?
He's the white dude. He's the white default character.
They have
Put him in there.
names.
To
He
actually
just dances the entire time.
to actually acknowledge what you said about Fortnite, it's completely possible, but I don't think Fortnite was around during the decision process for making this game, and it certainly wasn't as popular. So I don't think it's possible for a Fortnite character
Hey, it's-
to... Hang on. I don't think it's possible
They could
for a Fortnite
definitely be a DLC
character.
add-on.
I don't think it's possible for the default roster to have a Fortnite character, just because it literally was not around during the decision process.
But I mean, at this point, how much
DLC add-on, though.
At this point,
how much harder would it be to put another character in?
6 months
and
of work.
But from maybe you could be a DLC character.
That's
But
what I
if you
just
think
said.
the
Just
the
like-
money, I'm just saying it. Calm down.
I just said. he
Joe's
could be a
getting
DLC
livid about
character.
these things that aren't even confirmed.
I just like I say something and it's like oh yeah, I mean he won't be in the default roster, but it's possible he could be DLC. And Dylan's like,
Well,
What if it
it
could be
doesn't
a
help that
DLC
your voice is
character?
cutting out.
Yeah, your voice is cutting out a bit.
okay, fair enough. Anyway,
But regardless, if you think from a money standpoint, Fortnite can be like, yeah, we have a character in Super Smash, and they can like use that hype to their advantage, and vice versa.
I don't think Smash Bros would. I don't think there's as much benefit from that as one would think. I mean, like, maybe sure, yeah, you could play as. I mean, maybe that influences something, but I think a free-to-play game, sales-wise, would not really correlate well with an actual like fully played game, especially a game that you can play on any kind of
Where's
PC.
Joey?
I'm right here.
What, you didn't say anything.
I've been talking.
He has.
What? What have you said? Whatever. Let's keep going.
Let's next character. Next
Just
character.
think of the moveset though. Like he can have his like little axe thing.
You can make a
His
moveset for
RP could
Tetris
be a
block.
launch
We don't need to
pad.
talk about his potential moveset.
It would be cool.
Why? I've been talking about a Crash Bandicoot moveset, just hoping to God he'd be made a character.
Crash Bandicoot has the easiest moveset imaginable.
Exactly.
all-
So was
For
Fortnite.
all we know, Nintendo's listening and taking notes.
We know Google is.
Yeah,
Anyways,
it's true.
regardless, this isn't the time to talk about a potential Fortnite character. This is about this list.
Fine.
And this list only.
Back to the list.
Back to the list. Let's see who's next. Make sure I'm reading things correctly.
Gandhi from Civ 5.
Fucking, that would be amazing. Just barbarian.
Mama, yeah. He just
His
fucking
final
throws nukes at people.
Final Smash is just the nuke.
Oh,
his-
so who's the next person?
All of his moves take 6 turns to to start.
Oh,
Next character is, oh my god, Shadow the Hedgehog.
I mean I feel like that seems. I don't want to say obvious because A, I don't give a shit about these things, and B, I don't really know. But I feel like it's an obvious inclusion, right?
Shadow has been an assist trophy for the last 2 games, and he literally has not been shown off once yet. And in fact, Knuckles is now an assist trophy. So the entire internet,
Knuckles?
yeah, the entire
That's
internet
not fair, Shadow.
has collectively agreed that yes, Shadow is probably in this game. As an echo for Sonic.
And
obviously.
so it will be.
So it'll be the internet declares.
For
it.
the internet has decreed.
All right, so moving on from S, or no, still in S, we have Steve from Minecraft.
Fucking Steve.
Joey, I don't see why you're so upset.
I just don't. That's one character I never so much as even pictured to be in Smash Bros.
Why not?
Why? Why?
Because
What?
Because he's like very influential and one of the best-selling franchises from the best-selling franchises of all time.
The face of a generation.
Seriously,
I
literally
just
only
think-
under Tetris in terms of sales. And the game has been around for 10 years now. It's still popular.
The
It's still
Bible.
being played by millions of people every day.
What's the process for Nintendo to get a character in? Like, for example, Steve. They just go to Minecraft and be like, "Hey, we want to put your character in."
They'd
You
have
guys
to go
accept?
to Microsoft, and yeah, pretty much. Well, I mean, we don't know for sure what the process is, because there's been different. There's different characters, and each third-party character, I'm sure, has a different reason for how they got in.
I'm sure there's many circumstances too. Like other third-party companies come to them and be like, "Hey, would you want to add Sonic to your game?"
And they
As
just
an
laugh and laugh.
It's more like
But that happened one day.
it's more like something like, let's say, Mega Man. I'm sure Nintendo was like, "Hey, Capcom, can we work this? Can we work out a contract for getting Mega Man?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure." For Sonic, I think originally he was supposed to be in Melee, but they couldn't get it done. That's why Sonic's moveset has always involved like just spin dashes in every single one of his moves, because he was a very last minute addition to Brawl. And it's also why the game got delayed, was because of Sonic.
Mm,
One could say he was
son of a bitch.
too
He
slow.
betrayed us. That's funny.
Trevor's been really really bringing the charity laughs in for my puns.
It's clever. It's clever.
You sure
I
have.
appreciate a pun every now.
I know Snake was Hideo Kojima. I guess he's friends with Sakurai, and he literally asked him.
He's friends with Snake,
Sakurai.
a real life Snake,
Yeah, he made Snake.
the, the actor who played Snake.
I'm sure he is.
So who's next on the list?
In my list.
Shadow's old news.
Well, Steve. We're talking about Steve.
Oh, that's how old news he is.
It's an iconic character at this point. He's got a lot of history. He's been on 3 Nintendo platforms and 2. Well, Minecraft has been on 3 Nintendo platforms, and the spin-off Minecraft Story Mode has been on multiple Nintendo platforms. At this point, 10 years after Minecraft's release,
yeah.
I think Steve has a chance to be in this game.
It makes sense.
It makes sense. 100% makes sense. And I think, no joke, well, because there's also a little bit more rumors and speculation going around about Steve, or at least some sort of
He's
Minecraft
pregnant.
content. I'm going to say that Steve is in this game. I think he's in this game.
Confirmed.
Confirmed.
Joe said it.
Steve is in this game. All right, moving on from S. He's got a great lot of moveset potential, too. He's got some.
I thought you said moving on from ass.
from S.
Moving on
moving
from
on
S,
from
we go
S.
to T, and we have Thanos car.
No, we don't.
It's always nice when
No.
my joke can be planned out in advance.
I actually saw. I was watching a meme compilation the other day instead of doing my actual fucking. But it was Wario. It was like the most recent Smash. Whatever the one where Wario whips out a motorcycle, but they just like copy like they put a Thanos car overlay on it. Great.
That'd be
So,
that would be amazing.
Basically, it's confirmed that Thanos car is in WarioWare 3.
You heard it here first.
And the last
Confirmed
character
by
on this
Trevor.
list is Vault Boy, which I'm not gonna lie, that sounds fucking awesome if Vault Boy was in this game.
That'd be weird.
But what are the
I wouldn't even know his moveset.
I mean, there's tons of like cinematics in Fallout of him doing things.
And all those like a little side note, they made all those bobbleheads based off of him with all different kind of weapons and abilities.
Yeah, I mean he does.
That's true. You can almost make him like a Game and Watch character. He just like whips out shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean you can use the laser gun, the junk cannon, whatever that is.
Oh shit! I forgot about that gun.
The weird concrete fists thing.
Oh, the reverb fist.
Yeah, and power armor, laser weaponry,
Death Claw.
a bat.
Bat. Ah, yes, classic bat.
Yeah, I mean honestly, Vault Boy. I mean, as soon as I heard that, I'm like, oh, That'd be kind of cool. And I would bet money that a Fallout 3 remake is probably coming soon, and in that probably could be a Fallout character.
There's New Vegas remake in the work by it's an independent team, but
like
they're using the
like a mod team,
Fallout 4 engine.
like a mod team, like not in association in any way by Bethesda.
No, but they Bethesda has said they're not going to sue, so
That's cool.
that's probably the best I can hope for.
And Bethesda has had a huge presence on the Switch so far. They had obviously Skyrim in the game.
Really?
Yeah, and they
Oh,
and
yeah.
the unbelievable Doom and
Oh, yeah.
and Wolfenstein 2 ports onto the Switch, which are two AAA massive titles, and for them to be on the Switch is crazy. And they were actually well made, and had features that weren't in other games or other.
They're well
platforms.
made, but they're not like crazy massive.
In terms of like graphical and like, I mean, they're AAA titles.
If I remember correctly, New Order or whatever number 2 was called didn't sell that well. I mean, like it wasn't like it was and did not outsell the first Wolfenstein, not the original, of course, but the first new one, Old Blood. What the fuck was it called?
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
It was not as big, but that's just that has not.
But just in the fact that they were able to get a AAA super graphical game and make it on the Switch, and what people say, and Joey, you talk about it. Talk about Doom.
I talk about what?
Doom.
It's a fun game. I love the story. I love the
just-
multiplayer. It was pretty smooth to play with other people. Doom has just been a fun franchise forever, and I love it on the Switch. I'm glad that they did it.
Would you say you like Doom? Doom
Yes,
guy?
I would say I like Doom guy.
Oh, heard it here fucking first.
A lot of people have been saying Doom guy for Smash, which he's pretty iconic. He's been around for.
I honestly don't know what Doom guy looks like.
He's just the dude in the weird helmet.
He's just a guy.
And I forgot to mention that Doom Eternal, the new one, is also coming to Switch.
Yeah, it'll be coming to the Switch.
So you have Fallout Shelter, Skyrim, Elder Scrolls Blades, Doom 1, Doom 2, and Wolfenstein, all coming to the Switch.
Doom Eternal.
It's not unlikely that a Bethesda character could be in, and I think Fault Boy sounds cool. I think I'm at the point now where I'll literally take anything. I don't care what it is. Bring on the Fortnite character.
Oh God.
So wait, are we at the end of the list?
That's the end of the list, unless you want to go into like assist trophies and stages.
Oh, he listed off all that shit too?
Yeah, he's got
Damn, that's wild.
he's got
okay, let's do, if you guys like, let's name off our number one character from that list that we want to see.
Trixie Con.
Okay. Dylan?
What? I thought you were
What's
saying
the
Vault-
what,
I
the
thought you were
monkey
saying
with the
Vault
big
Boy.
boobs?
Which character in that list has the biggest boobs?
No. What's the monkey with the big boobs in Donkey Kong?
Candy
Oh my
Kong?
God.
Candy Kong. I want her.
Dylan?
I always mix her up with Crash Bandicoot's girlfriend.
Tanya?
Fucking Tanya. I feel like they could be interchangeable. Giant-breasted anthropomorphic women.
Tanya Echo character confirmed.
Wait, what is the status on Crash? Like, is there rumors of Crash, or is it kind of like
Okay.
shot down, or is
The
it?
reason why
Nothing.
Crash Bandicoot has become a big thing all of a sudden is because of the Insanity remake on Switch. I don't think Crash Bandicoot was in any sort of position to be picked at the time of Smash Ultimate being decided on.
How fucking dare you?
Although, I guess the remake was announced during that time, but it was on PS4. It was not on Switch.
Yeah, I remember when that dude walked down stage and it was a shadow of Crash behind him. But then he like walked out of sync, so the shadow got low behind him.
Do you remember when they walked out and announced that Crash Bandicoot would be coming to Skylanders, and we both absolutely lost it? We both
Skylanders.
Yeah, because I have Crash.
I don't
and
give a
Toy-
shit about Skylanders. What? This is
I know
fucking fake news.
we were very upset because that's what they came up to announce, and then they announced the Insane.
Oh.
Because they had
Yeah, I would be upset.
because first off we were drunk at the time because we were halfway through the E3 drinking game, and they all of a sudden they dressed up the stage to look like Crash Bandicoot, and you and I were like going crazy, like, oh no! We started hearing the music, and they're like, Crash is coming to Skylanders, and we were just like,
Oh yeah,
That was
never
nice.
lost a chunk that fast in my life.
That's an ultimate troll.
it was pretty good. It was pretty good. And then announcing what is turned out to be the greatest homage to Crash Bandicoot I've ever seen, which is the Insane Trilogy.
Homage.
Homage.
Did you say homage?
Homage.
The fuck?
Don't you be messing with my homage with the side of fromage.
Ah, yes. A respectful homage.
Anyway, Joe,
Anyways.
what character do you want?
I don't fucking know.
I think Vault Boy would be pretty cool, but more realistic. I really want to see Steve, just because I think it would be one of those characters, not necessarily that I would play, but it would be like, that's cool. I respect it.
Just know that if Steve is in this game, you will definitely be playing against Steve.
Why is that?
I mean,
Because I am going to destroy everyone with Steve. Especially
Yeah,
Joey.
that should be your new main.
Especially Joey. He may not want him in the game, but I will make sure he sees him.
I
Joe,
didn't
you're
say I
not gonna
don't
be
want
the
him.
only one with fucking.
You know what I think would be pretty cool too is if they allow, like, rather than giving like the you know how they give like different colors for Samus or whatever, if different colors were like you could be like a villager or something like that.
Oh,
like the different villagers.
Like a Mario-fied Steve.
Sure. Yeah, you
Or
have
like
like different villagers, or you have
different, like,
female
Minecraft
version
skins.
of Steve. Yeah, different Minecraft skins.
Minecraft has always had
Dude.
like this default list of skins, and there's like a female Minecraft skin basically. So I'd assume it'd be those. But
That would be pretty cool.
It'd be kind of cool if it was like.
But like, what
Steve
if there was like
dressed
an
up-
Enderman skin?
That'd be pretty cool. Enderman assist trophy.
Ooh. And if you look in its direction, it comes up to you and just hits you.
Oh, and Creeper.
Ooh, see, now you're talking. Now you're talking.
Now you're thinking with portals.
Yes. Joey,
Oh.
what's your character?
Joe.
Dude, and then
Black
what if
Knight. No, not Black Knight. Black Shadow.
Black Shadow. I'm gonna go with Steve as well. Well, you know, I'll go with Vault Boy. Why not? I'll be different.
They could put Ender Pearls in the game.
You know, it's I think
Finally.
that'd be a good recovery move for him. You know what? I don't need to vote for Steve because Steve is in this game. Just wait.
He's already confirmed. You confirmed it?
I'm confirming him right now.
Joe is making sure this is gonna happen.
Making sure alongside
He's calling.
with
He's
Groot.
on the phone with Nintendo as we speak.
He's on the phone with Mr. Nintendo
Get me
right
Reggie. I don't care if he's asleep. Get me Reggie.
God damn it! Steve needs to be in the game. He's like, sorry, Joe. Steve isn't in the game. I need Steve in the game.
now. He's like, stop calling this number.
Hangs up and blocks Joe.
Joe, I'm unfriending you on Switch. No, Reggie, please.
My friend code.
All right, that's it.
All right, deuces.
That's the podcast.
Bye.
Glad you all can make it.
This has
Dylan?
been fun.
Dylan,
Yes.
good
Does
job.
anyone
Dylan.
want to play Civ 6 with me?
No.
Do you want to play it on the
I'll play-
Switch?
All right,
they
break.
can figure it out. That's all for today's podcast. So long.